Hey guys, my name is Katie. Welcome to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. Today I'm going to be sharing my 2025 year in review with you where I go through all 41 diamond paintings I've completed this year, rank them from least to most favorite, and give you a series of just snapshot looks at every single one of these projects. I have been doing these for, I think this is my 6th year, so if you're interested in seeing any of my past year in review videos, those will be linked below, along with the different shops represented today, which just real quick up front, if you want some fun stats, I have, I think, 15 different shops represented today, kits that I worked on throughout the year. Of the 41 kits I've completed, 20 of them had round drills and 21 of them had square. This was actually not intentional, but year over year, it seems to work out this way, where I end up with kind of an even split down the middle of how many round and square drill kits I worked on. That tends to be just kind of representative of how I like to diamond paint, which is that I need both drill shapes in my life and tend to go back and forth between them because I spend time working on square drills and then I want to work on rounds and vice versa. So this was also the first year I actually tracked how many diamonds I've placed on the canvas, which has been really fun. And going into it, I have really had no idea how many diamonds I would place this year or what my average was. But I kind of had in my head, I wonder if I can place over 1 million diamonds in a year. As it turned out, the answer is yes. And the total number of diamonds I have placed in 2025 is 1,709,013. So there you go. Now, like I said, I'm going to be taking you through these kits and putting them in order from least to most favorite. In some of my past year in review videos, I have done these in chronological order. Last year was the first year I decided to try out ranking them, and I kind of thought I would do that again this year. If you're more interested in seeing them in chronological order in upcoming years or even a separate video, feel free to let me know. I'm completely open to feedback. And before we get started, I also wanted to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you are new and haven't seen anything from me before, or if you're not already subscribed. If you like this video and enjoy it and want to see more like it, I'd love to have you as part of my community here. It's all diamond painting all the time, lots of reviews of completed kits, often in more detail than you'll see here. Then I also do other diamond painting related stuff like how-tos and tutorials. And if you want some company while you're crafting, I do weekly whip and chats. I think that sounds good to you. I'd love to have you. So anyway, we're going to dive right into it. I want to give the same disclaimer that I think I gave last year, which is just that how I ranked these was a little bit just on what I liked most about the canvas. And it's not like necessarily a reflection on any of these shops or anything. It's really highly subjective, though quality absolutely did play a factor with some of these kits in the order that they ranked in, but sometimes it purely was just it turned out that this wasn't my taste, and that's a me thing. We'll talk about it as we go along. I do have my paper logbook handy, which is just where I track the diamond paintings I actually work on, and I track things like the stats I put in, like the original artwork for the kit and stuff like that. This is the first kit we're going to be looking at, which is Garden by Carrot Art, and you can see I have like the stats and my start and end date, and I rank things like the confetti and the enjoyment and track the drill counts, all that good stuff. So I am excited. I'm going to finish this one this year or in 2026 and get to start a new logbook, which will be my third, which will be really fun. So I'll probably do a flip through of this one if you like that kind of thing once it's full, which I'm guessing will be maybe in February if I had to guess. So if you like flip throughs, that'll be coming too. Okay, let's get started. Like I mentioned, we're going to start from the least favorite to most favorite. And I also want to give a quick caveat, and then I promise we'll get started because I know we're a ways into this and I know I'm a little slow to get started sometimes with these, but this video is also a little bit experimental for me, and that it is going up before the first of the year. I have never done it quite like this before. I may have had a year in review go up on the last day of the year, but typically these go up after the first of the year. This is another thing I wanted to try out differently for this year, and would love your feedback if you are more like, I'd rather see it after the first of the year, or if you like it kind of being part of the December kind of wrap up kind of vibes that are going on. That said, 2 of the kits we're going to talk about, I actually have not started yet, but I am very, very confident that I'm going to be able to finish in the week. It's more than a week, actually, that I have 10 days left in the year from when I am filming this. I'm very confident I'm going to finish these kits without any issues. And so I am including them in these totals, like my stats and everything. The only thing I cannot accurately tell you is where I would rank them. I'm just going to give it my best guess and throw them somewhere in the middle. So we'll get there when we get there. Let's start with my least favorite kit, which is honestly one of my least favorite diamond paintings I've ever worked on, and it makes me very, very sad. And since I worked on it pretty recently, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you've heard about it. I've talked about it plenty. This is called Garden. It is by Carrot Art, and the artist is Mahu Shujo. And I truly love this artwork so much, it breaks my heart that I hated working on it. And I don't use that word lightly. I almost didn't complete this kit. I finished it on, I say, spite and stubbornness, because I was going to finish it, gosh darn it. The reasons that I didn't like it are multiple. Mostly the rendering, which I'll tell you what, through a camera lens, the camera does some kind of magic. It looks good. It comes together decently well. In person, it is a confetti mess. I'll put a picture up on the screen. I know that sometimes me showing kits like that doesn't give you the best 100% look at them. So for a lot of these, I'm going to be inserting pictures, including this one. And this one is going to get a detailed, I have a post review that may or may not have gone up before this year in review, where I really go in depth about it. But I was just incredibly disappointed with the rendering of it. It was very confetti heavy, and some of the color choices were odd, and for as much as I love the original artwork, it really, really stunk that I didn't like working on it. It was a slog, you guys. The quality was decent on the materials, but yeah, it has stopped me from wanting to order from that company again. The company is, did I say it's Carrot Art? They have a lot of artwork, licensed artwork from artists that I really love, but yeah, I just couldn't get excited about it, so that was my least favorite one of the year. This next one feels a little bit unfair, and it's only because when I was looking at these, I was just, it was one of the most forgettable ones that I worked on this year, and there was only one of these that I really liked, and that is the Mini Dazzle set from Diamond Art Club that is the Chinese New Year themed. And there's nothing inherently wrong with these. It's just that the dragon was the only one of these that I personally really enjoyed working on. So there was the dragon. Diamond Art Club Mini Dazzles are great in that they have like all special drills. There's all kinds of shades of fairy dust in these. I like that they have the gold frame and stuff, but this was just shades of gold and brown in a way that I didn't enjoy. And I only worked on these at the beginning of the year because I was doing a video where I was unboxing them, and I was like, let me go ahead and work on these. But just really forgettable. And so it's purely just the art style and working on them. It was just very meh to me. But quality-wise, pretty solid. Just, yeah, not my favorite that I've worked on this year. So that was number 40 of 41, because we have 41 in total. Now, number 39, this is really quick. Sorry. This is from the 2025 Diamond Art Club Advent Calendar. And the only reason I worked on it was because I had said I was going to work on one of the kits that came in the Advent Calendar. So if you don't want spoilers, just skip ahead a couple of minutes so that you can avoid this one. But technically this is going up after Christmas, and where I feel like the spoiler kind of ban has lifted, but just in case. So this one is called Candyland Cottage. It is from Diamond Art Club, and the artist is All Claire Studio, which that was kind of the kicker when I went to open up the Advent box, and I had said like, okay, I'm going to work on one of these kits because it came with 2, but both of the kits were by AI artists, which are not something I typically work on. So that honestly just soured this one for me in and of itself, but it turned out really cute. But I just worked on it for a video, and really truly, if I've learned anything about myself, it's that if I only work on a thing for a video and not because I really like anything about it, that really affects my experience of it. But it's a cute little snack size kit. I love that Diamond Art Club includes these little kits with their advents. It's really sparkly and stuff, but it's cute, but yeah, just wasn't super excited about it. So there was that one. All right, so next up, I got confused for a second. Now we're good. Next up, I have my temperature project for the year. I'm actually really bummed that this one is ranking so low because if you watched my 2024 year in review video, that temperature project ranked super low as well. But this one, I don't know what it was about it. I really thought I was going to love working on it, but it was a slog. I would find myself regularly falling behind by multiple months and then playing some catch up. I think that I didn't like, because I went into it thinking, oh, I'm going to modify the different trinkets on the shelves and to make them all like relevant to what we have going on that month, or, you know, special things. So like we got a dog in this month. And so this is a dog that, has the same markings as our dog. And it was like, oh, this, let me see, that was April. And then May, it was like, oh, well, this is when my oldest birthday is and he likes Roblox and Minecraft. So I did this like sword, and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, that felt really tedious to me. I love how it looks though, finished. I'm really happier with the color palette that I chose compared to last year. And the bookshelf motif is really cute, but I don't know. I just found it to be more of a slog this year than I was expecting. So I haven't quite finished it. You can see it's the 22nd or the 20, what day is it? I don't even know. 21st, 22nd of December when I'm recording this. And so I haven't quite finished it, but these are the books that'll represent the rest of the month, and each of these shelves is a month. So yeah, that one just ranked kind of low, and is what it is. Maybe my temperature project for 2026 will be the one that fixes me. Next up, I have the first in a series that these are actually spread out pretty well over the course of my rankings. But I worked on a series of these Diamond Art Club Disney Princess kits from, they sold these on Amazon specifically. And this is really cute snack size collection of images. And I worked on the first 8 that were released, and I did a whole video on them where I used a random like picker wheel to choose which one I would work on a section of next and which kit I would work on next and kit up. So I just wanted to try something new, and I liked kind of that random element. But unfortunately, this one is called Belle, Life is Beautiful. By the time I got to this one, it was towards the end. I was kind of over this project a little bit, even though I love Disney princesses. I was just kind of burned out, and yellows are not a color I love working on. And this was just all yellows. It felt very tedious. I feel bad. I was ready to be done. And which stunk because I was so excited about it. I think it turned out really cute, but they're all round drill kits. I was so sick of round drills by the time I finished this series. But it's cute. I was over it. So there we have it. Next up, I have another Diamond Art Club kit. This one is from the artist Marilyn Casanave and is called Autumn Treasures, and is a rare kit from this artist that has square drills. It's really cute. I worked on this because the cat looks a little bit like my cat, my tuxedo cat, Skip. But ultimately, I've been liking working on snack size kits this year. But when it came down to it, I hated working on the greens in this kit. They just really burned me out. The like autumn garland was cute, but really I just liked working on the toadstools and then the cat. But that was just such a small portion of this kit that was mostly just powering through it. It was my first kit that I worked on for Drills and Chills this year, which is a fall and Halloween themed event that I co-host every year. And I always like starting off that event with a fall themed project. And this is one of the few smaller fall themed kits I even had in my stash. I thought I was going to like it more, but I kind of just look back on it and go, eh. But it's unique in that it's got square drills. Like I said, most of this artist kits, while they're small, they usually have rounds. This is a little bit bigger for a kit from her, actually, too. It's what? Peel that back to see. 42.8 by 42.8, where a lot of them are more like 33 by 33, even 28 by 28. So anyway, this was the next one. I think this was number 36. Next up is also from the Advent calendar this year from Diamond Art Club, and this was one of those that fell victim to I worked on it because it was for a video. If I would have just worked on these by themselves, I genuinely think I would have enjoyed it more, but I sat down and just completed them in one evening, and at the end it was just I feel like I didn't even really sit and enjoy it. I was just working on it, time-lapsing it, keep it rolling. So spoiler alert again, this is the Christmas Treats Mini Dazzle set from Diamond Art Club and is another set of 6. It's really cute with its special drills. And this is one of my favorite like artworks that they've done. I liked this one a lot better than the Advent set they did last year. They're rendered really, really well. We're talking about enjoyment. The quality was not the issue here. It was just my own personal enjoyment. That's really fun. Like a Swiss cake roll. Cute eggnog. And then this gingerbread house. The color palette on some of these bored me a little bit too, but anyway. So that Mini Dazzle set, again, so subjective. That was number 35. Number 34. Once again, a kit that surprised me that I didn't like it more, and I spent a lot of time analyzing why I maybe didn't like it as much. This one's going to be big enough I'm going to have to put in a picture for you, but I'll at least show you a bit of it now. Okay. Treacherous over here. This is Talk to the Snakes from Jaded Gem Shop and the artist Toshio-san. And it's a big one, you guys. That was part of the reason I think that I got a little burned out on it and wasn't as big a fan of it. This is the hand-charted version, aka the pixel-charted version. And I thought I would love it because it had all these delightful shades of pink in it, right? So the kicker, though, was I think I just, the size kind of did me in a little bit. I also worked on this one because it is the year of the snake. Now, in 2024, I did like a year of the dragon kind of thing where I worked on a dragon kit each month. And this year I wasn't going to do like all snakes or anything like that, but I still thought, oh, I could do one snake kit. I have this snake kit. Why not work on this snake kit? But it was one of those that I got bored. The size on it was a little bit big for artwork that I wasn't personally actually that excited about. I think it's technically fan art of a Monster High character. I've never watched Monster High, but I like Medusa art, generally speaking, and lots of other mythological art. There was really cool stuff in here, like some special drills in her jewelry, like these really cool crystals and stuff. But there were a couple of colors that were more trash prone, if I remember correctly. And this was also really early on when Jade had first started doing some hand charting. And so I feel like her hand charting has improved a lot and gotten a lot cleaner and been a lot more to my taste over the years. But this was from like really, really early on. And I could see some things with the rendering that it's like, ooh, I bet that would be a little bit cleaner if it were released like today. But this is from like back when it originally released. So I really like Toshio-san too. But yeah, that particular kit was just not doing it for me, which is what it is. So, okay, that was number 35. That was 34. Number 33 is going to be Snow White, Sweetest of All, another princess in this series. And I feel bad to say as much because I'm sure someone here, Snow White is their favorite Disney princess, but she's never been mine. Like I've never really been super into like her, movie or her vibe or anything. I only worked on this one because I was doing the series. So the color palette was cute and was refreshing. And it was cute that it was one of the only ones that I think had words on it. It was a cute little snack size kit. And I think I worked on this early enough in the series, or it was different enough from the others that like I wasn't bored with it. Now these are all the same size, by the way. They're all 33 by 44 centimeters. And like a lot of the kits on Diamond Art Club's Amazon storefront, they are beginner friendly. Tend to have round drills, be a smaller size, and tend to be more color blocky like these are. So good news is those kits tended to go fast because of all the color blocking. The next one in this lineup is going to be another one of these princesses. And the reason for this one being ranked as low as it is, I debated. But when I look back on it, I just so distinctly remember the frustration I felt with this one because I ran out of one of the dark blue colors on it and had to wait for replacements, which a friend was so sweet to send me so that I didn't have to wait on DAC, though DACs ended up coming in a few days later. But I was just like, I want to get these done quickly, and so anything that was holding me up was kind of a bummer. Now this one does have these cool special drills in like the sun and stuff. There's these iridescents that are really cool. And overall, like I really like Mulan. I thought this was really unique in this series. But I just remember being really annoyed by the drill situation. I was like, I am trying to like move through these and feel like I can't, I don't know. I didn't like leaving it hanging and like, oh, it's not a finish yet. I'm weird. But on artwork alone, I liked that one. So anyway, next up, this I believe is number 31. And that is the kit Two Witches from Orloa and the artist Marilyn Casanave. Now this one I did a dedicated post review on, and so I talked at length there about my issues with this one. It's not dissimilar to my issues with Garden from Carrot Art, and it has to do with the what I suspect to be some computer charting, a really soft rendering in a lot of areas, like the background. There's just pure confetti. Again, the camera has a way of pulling these computer rendered high confetti pieces together in a way that makes them make sense and brings the colors together really beautifully, which is great for if you want to take pictures or show video like I'm doing here. When I'm trying to talk to you about genuinely what my experience was and how this looks in person, it makes things a little bit tricky. So this one, I love the artwork. Maria Chekhareva is probably my favorite artist that Orloa has. And this is one of those that I really wanted to work on to see, like, okay, I haven't worked on an Orloa kit in a while. What do I think of this one? Now, this one did come out a few years ago, and what I have seen the sentiment expressed is that I've seen a lot of people say that Orloa does more hand charting now. And I think I would just have to go in and look really closely at whatever the mock-up is for the kit to see if it looks that way to me too, or if it looks like a rendering I'm going to enjoy. That one, I feel like there are definitely some distinct hand touch-ups that were done on the witches' faces and a couple other spots. I think it was cleaned up, but then so much of it I feel like was left untouched, and that's just my own personal opinion. I'm not saying that is fact, but regardless, it affected my enjoyment of it and how I felt about how it turned out too, honestly. So that is Two Witches from Orloa. Next up, I have Cozy Reading from Art Dot. And this one is actually the first Art Dot kit that I have completed and is by the artist Simone Grunwald. And this is one that's has what they say is like the 2.0 version of their square drill field, which they had said that they'd gotten a lot of feedback that the first version had a lot of gapping. So they went in and tightened up the drill field, and this is the second version of it. And again, the first one I've done from them. I did, though, run into some gapping even still. And so I'm sending them some feedback, letting them know that I think that they need to continue to tighten it up. Just based on what I've seen from other diamond painters that worked on the original version of this kit, this does look like an improvement on the gapping from the first version. I think they need to do more. So the gapping made multi-placing difficult on this one to the point that it affected my enjoyment of it. I think it turned out really pretty though. It's very obviously hand charted, and you can see a lot of the clean details both up close and further away. I think Art Dot is doing a lot of really cool stuff. And I hope that they are going to look at further improving the gridding on those, just because I feel like that's maybe the only thing that's really holding that one back for me. But it didn't affect it so much that it ended up even lower on the list, because really the rendering was what pulled it up for me. I love the rendering a lot, and the overall quality on the drills and everything made that a pretty positive experience in spite of the gridding, the gapping rather. So that was Cozy Reading. That was number 30. We are working our way through, and this is the part where I will go ahead and pop in what I think are going to be where my kits I haven't worked on yet are going to go. So first up is Electrifying Monster Christmas. This, I will put a picture of the screen of the original artwork for you. This is from Diamond Art Club and was an exclusive at Joann's, RIP, that I grabbed last year in 2024. My youngest is really into Monsters, Inc. this year, and so I see him enjoying me working on this one. I'm confident I'm going to be able to finish it before the end of the year, because it is smaller and has a ton of color blocking and doesn't even have that many colors. What I'm curious to see with this one is whether or not it has some round drill field gapping on it, which I'll talk more about when we get a little further along. But this one, I just anticipate that it'll be somewhere in the middle here, that I'll like it because of the nostalgic attachment to it, and because it's going to be like a cute, quick little workup kit, and I'm going to be able to work on it just when I'm relaxing at my parents' house or, before we head there. So yeah, I imagine this one being kind of in the middle. The other one, this one I would probably potentially rank higher, but I am going to just put it here because this is easier to talk about both in the same place. I am planning to travel with the Mini Dazzles set from Diamond Art Club that is the Disney Christmas ornament, Disney Princess ornament themed one. And these I really do think I'm going to like working on a lot. They remind me of more fan art that's less like in your face, and that is really neat to me. It's one of the only, I think it right now is the only Merida or Brave themed piece that we have seen. There's like one ornament that's Merida themed in the mix here that I'm excited for. I think it's going to be really cute and travel friendly, and this theme in particular, more than any of the other Mini Dazzle sets I worked on this year, is right up my alley. So I'm excited to work on this one. And again, it's very small, so I'm really, really confident I'll be able to finish it before the end of the year. So it's a nice mix too. The Monsters Inc. one is round drills. The Mini Dazzles are square drills. So it's keeping the nice little balance that I've had going all year too. All right, next up we have, this is number 27 now. This is Pocahontas Believe in Magic. We have another Disney princess. And this one, it's funny, I look at it and go, maybe I would rank this a little bit lower actually now that I think about it. Because I look at this and I'm like, well, the color palette wasn't super exciting, but like it was really cute to work on, and it was early on in the mix, so the novelty was still there. Now this had the tighter round drill field from Diamond Art Club that was really easy to multi-place with. They lined up really well. And I don't know, this one was really cute. Fun to have some Pocahontas representation. And then next up was number 26 was Jasmine in this series. This one's called Made for Soren. And this one was really cute. I love baby Raja so much. It had some pretty special drills, like some iridescence in her earrings and stuff like that. And this is a pretty color palette. I liked working on this one when it was time for this one, but I don't really have a whole lot else to say about these. These Disney princesses are all kind of they're very samey in a lot of ways. But like, I'm such a Disney princess girly. I'm bummed that I got a little more bored on that series than I expected, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Number 25. It's actually hanging right here. I have Starry Night from Make Market, and obviously by the one and only Van Gogh. This is almost like a rite of passage for diamond painters. This is the first time I've worked on the classic traditional Starry Night, actually. I did a variation on it. I did like, what was it called? Like Corgi Starry Night from Dreamer Designs. It was like the third or fourth kit that I ever worked on way back. Kind of a nightmare to work on, actually. But that was like my soft introduction to Starry Night. And then for Summer with the Masters this year, which is the other diamond painting event that I hosted this year, which centers around kind of more classic artwork, and this is what gets more classic than this, I decided to work on this one, and it's from Make Market at Michael's, which in my opinion is one of the best budget-friendly licensed artwork options on the market. I think this retailed for like $14.99 US, and you know you've always got a coupon you can use at Michael's. I've been really happy with Make Market quality over the years, with the exception of their squares. I'm always going to steer you guys away from their square drill kits. Their round drill kits, though, chef's kiss. This was really happy with the quality, and it came with these magnetic wooden hangers. And I worked on Almond Blossom from them for last year's Summer with the Masters, you might remember, and really liked how that turned out. I feel like they actually do hand chart their kits. Don't mind me being klutzy with magnets over here. I think Make Market is doing a lot of really amazing stuff. And for those of us that are on a tight budget, you cannot beat them. But I have to warn you against their square drills unless you are ready for a headache. If you're fine with like, the price point is so good, I don't care, I'll work with the square drills, more power to you, but I tend to steer clear of them and find that it's not even worth the low price point, even for artwork I really love, because they're, I'm pretty confident they're made from acrylic as opposed to resin, like most companies use now with their squares. And these acrylic squares, they have little scoopies out of the side. You can see some of this like weird gapping, and they're a pain in the butt to work with. So round drills, that's the way to go. I think this turned out great. So cute little Summer with the Masters kit, but not the only one you're going to see for Summer with the Masters this year, but the next one's a little further up. Next up, number 24. No, we're not halfway yet. I can do math. 41 is our grand total, and this is number 24. Not quite there. This is called Love is Blind, not like the reality show. No, this is a cute rainy day stash kit. I think this is the lowest ranked rainy day stash kit in the mix, but I'll explain why. I just finished this one today. Actually, it's so flipping cute. It's from the artist Marilyn Kazanave again, so another seasonal one. If you're looking for little seasonal cute animals, this is the artist. Diamond Art Club has a ton of her stuff. This one was a Christmas release in 2023, Christmas in July, if I remember right, and was in my rainy day stash because when I was growing up, we had a golden retriever puppy, and so just the fondest, cutest associations with this one. Why didn't it rank higher? Because, I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, Diamond Art Club, at one point, up until like a year and a half ago-ish, don't quote me on that, went through a phase where they had some gappy rounds. You could see a little bit of the gapping in some of those purple color blocked areas. I tried to minimize it, how visible it was, but it's there. And that meant that I could only multi-place like 6 or 7 drills in a row, and then they ended up kind of crunched up a little bit. So that's why I didn't enjoy this one quite as much, because there's a lot of color blocking in the background. It took longer than I would have liked. So when I'm talking about the slightly gappier round drill field from Diamond Art Club, this is what I am referring to. But it's still so cute. It's got these pretty clear iridescence in the stars that really pop, and like you can't beat how adorable that is. So anyway, that's Love is Blind, cute little snack size kit, which just has been perfect for the holiday season. There's one big Christmassy kit in the mix that I loved working on. It's in my top 10 we'll get to. But other than that, I've been focused on small snacky kits for the Christmas season because life is just so busy. We're about to be traveling. I was like, I need to have smaller kits in my life in this season of my life, and it's been a great choice. 10 out of 10. Recommend. This next one, really gonna need to insert a picture for this, but I'll still show you a bit of it first. Like, can I even really? No, I really can't. This one is Star Wars A New Hope from Diamond Art Club, legally licensed Star Wars artwork, and it is a big old panel piece that is like as tall as I am. It's very, 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 very tall. So let me just show you the top part of it. Like, look how cool that is though. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. All right, I'll put a picture on the screen now. But this one had so much color blocking and went shockingly fast. It was actually really fun how quickly I zipped through it. And I am obsessed with this like vintagey, retro-y travel poster style of artwork. It's like, again, like the Disney Princess Christmas ornaments I'm going to be doing. I like that it's not in your face as much. Like, obviously, yes, like this is Star Wars or whatever, but I like that it's not a movie still. It mixes it up a little bit. And I really loved being able to zip through that with my multi-placer. I love how it turned out. I think it turned out amazing. And I have the other two that released. So they released the original trilogy series of posters, but I have seen in this art series that the artist has also done the prequel and I think the sequel trilogy too. So I wonder if maybe we'll see those from Diamond Art Club at some point. That would be really cool to have the whole set. But I did a New Hope first because I was like, I'm going to go in order of the original trilogy that's released. And that kind of ticked a box for me in terms of goals for the year, where I was like, I originally wanted to work on a princess panel and instead ended up working on a Star Wars panel. It's like, I guess kind of close, but whatever. That was number 23. Number 22 is a kit that was from another new to me company this year, but I'm so sad to report that this company has closed their doors. Really bummed about that. This is Stars and Whiskers from Diamood, and I just think this is so cute, and I am so sad that this is one of those small shops that had to close their doors this year. I started working on this one like shortly before they announced they were closing, which was also very bittersweet. But this company, I was really happy with the quality on this kit in general, and I thought it turned out really well. And I'm just made me again sad this company shut their doors because I thought they were doing some really cool things. So this did have a lot of confetti in it, especially like the stars and galaxies at the top. But I liked working on it. I took a risk working on a square drill kit from a new to me company as my first from them. I guess I did that with Art Dot too. Usually if I'm trying out a new to me company, I'm like, let me go with round drills because they're less risky than square drills are. But apparently not with this one or with Art Dot. But that was a really good experience, and I have a couple of the kits from Diamood in my stash that I'm just going to be treasuring and holding on to until, I don't know. I hope one day they said maybe they may reopen their doors someday, but it kind of seems like that's kind of thing is unlikely, so we'll see. Anyway, next up, we're almost halfway. This is Elsa from the Disney Princess series. Now, this one was really fun to work on because I thought that the dark background with Diamond Art Club's sparkly round drills, it's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Showstopper. There's the one. I was like, scene stealer? No, showstopper. This was really fun to work on. I liked this one a lot. And Elsa and Anna are just really fun Disney princesses, and I liked the vibes of this one. It was a nice mix it up, nice way to change it up from the color palettes of the other Disney princess kits. But yeah, that one was cute. We are halfway, you guys. Next up, I have my John William Waterhouse piece of choice for Summer with the Masters this year. Now, every year that I've hosted Summer with the Masters, the first year was 2021. Each year I've worked on a John William Waterhouse piece. Now, he has a very extensive library. Don't mind me just knocking stuff over. He has a pretty extensive library of portraits, and so I'm slowly but surely making my way through a lot of them. This is, I feel like, just a quintessential John William Waterhouse piece called The Soul of the Rose. And this is one that I actually did not get as a custom. I got it in a D-stash. It was created and produced by Distracted by Diamonds. And this is a big version of this piece. I really, really love how it turned out. I think Distracted by Diamonds did a beautiful job with it. And I think they generally do a really nice job with Old Masters artwork. And this was no exception, in my opinion. I like the soft rendering style, but some of the nice hand touch-ups to the face and whatnot. And the colors in it were just really, really pretty. And I did find myself getting a little bit bored working on it. The colors did start to bore me. I wasn't as excited to reach for it. If I remember right, I was working on that one alongside another kit at the same time. So I was able to go back and forth. And when I got bored of that one, I'd go to a different kit, and that helped. Highly recommend that if you're like, I'm getting, burned out on this thing. And yeah, so anyway. Next up, I think this is, oh no, it's not. There's one more after this one. This is the second to last princess from that Amazon Diamond Art Club series. This is Ariel Currently Busy Exploring. Currently, do you get it? Ariel's my favorite, personal favorite Disney princess. And the pale pink background kind of bled at me, but I love how Ariel and Flounder turned out. I thought it was so cute. So this one, I think I saved maybe for last, and I'm glad that I did. And I'm happy with how it's turned out. It's actually not even the only Ariel kit I worked on this year. You'll see another one soon. Next up is a company you haven't seen yet this year from me. This is Cityscape from Diamond Delights, and the artist is Sarah Bauman. And we have all of the gorgeous lo-fi vibes in this one, all kinds of shades of pink. There was a trash-prone drill or two color in this one, but I love, there's chock full of special drills, you guys. It's square drills, and I really, really love what Diamond Delights is doing. The artwork they have is so pretty. There's some cute fan art type stuff, and then there's lots of like lo-fi vibes and colors like this one, and a lot of snack and mini size kits that I am a huge fan of. So I need to get 2 more kits from them next year. Maybe I'll travel with some of the little like snacky ones that I have from them. But this was like, I think this was the first like canvasy one that I had worked on from them, and I was curious to try out the quality and see how I felt about it. And I was happy with it. I felt good about it. So there was that one. What do we got next? Okay, this one was special in a lot of ways. This was my first kit of 2025, and it's called, it had 2 names, Found Love in a Frosty Place and or Fixer Uppers. This is by Mandy Manzano and from Diamond Art Club, and was created, I think, circa like 2018, 2019, probably 2019. And I worked on this one as my 200th diamond painting. I had that milestone happening at the beginning of 2025, and I like to mark those milestones of like every 50 kits, sometimes every 25 kits, with working on something special. And this particular kit was in my rainy day stash, and these Mandy Manzano kind of fan art-y pieces are ones that I associate with when I started diamond painting, and there's something about them that is very like quintessential diamond painting to me. Manny Manzano's art style, I think, lends itself really well to diamond painting. Sorry, my arm keeps staying tired, so I can't hold this up the whole time. And I do like a lot about how this turned out, actually. I think it's really cute. One of the hazards of these older Diamond Art Club kits, though, is this had square drills. It had some really trashy 310 in the mix, but otherwise, it was really fun and really special to work on. So I will be coming up on my, let me see, 250th finish should be happening not too long into the year. So I will hit my 240th as of the end of this year. So 10 kits into 2026, I will be hitting 250. So I'll want to mark that one with a special kit too. Okay, next up, number 16 is the other aerial I worked on. This is So Curious from Diamond Art Club. Sorry, I'm blocking the microphone. You won't be able to hear me. This one I worked on for the Disney Diamond Painting event that Kate from Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper put on. And this one, this is a rare exception of like, I loved doing a movie still. This was such a perfect moment from this movie. And how amazing did this turn out in diamond painting form? Oh my gosh, this turned out so well. It's pretty good size. It was big, but it had a lot of color blocking. I zipped through it, I feel like, relatively quickly. The special drills in it were really pretty too. So that was a fun one to work on. That was called So Curious. Number 15, we're in the top 15 now. This is where, let me confess, up until I started recording this video, was still shuffling things around, especially here in the top 15, because truly what happened this year was that I was working on kits that I loved. It was a goal of mine for 2025, and I noticed how big a difference it was making with my crafting, so much that it only made me continue to focus on that goal and being like, I'm going to work on what I love, the artwork that's calling to me, the quality and everything of the companies, you know, and the kits themselves. I am going to focus on that. And I'm so glad that I did. I really, really am. So yeah, once we get into these, especially these top 15 here, these are just, they're all good. They're all really, really good. So anyway, this is Eros and Psyche from Chrysabug and Diamond Art Club, and is one of several kind of mythological character couples that I worked on. And if you like mythology, let me tell you about a new event that I am hosting with Kate, who I just mentioned from Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper. We're kicking off an event in February this year called Fairy Tales and Folklore, and is going to encompass mythology, among other things. So this kit would work for that. This is Eros and Psyche, and I really like this particular story. It's one of the few myths, Greek mythology, that has a happy ending to it. And I also was just so enamored with Chrysabug's use of light in the original artwork and how Diamond Art Club captured it. It's really unique, and I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. I think it's really, really beautiful, and I loved working on that kit. The color palette, there were a couple of times when I was maybe a little bit bored with the color palette, which I did not expect, but then I'm so happy with how it turned out. I think it's really beautiful. Next up, number 14. This was a fun, outside of the box, new to me concept to try, and was technically a whip that I had going into 2025 because of the nature of it. And that is the Night of the Frost Dragon Stitch Along from Flossie Fox Shop. Flossie Fox is the artist who created this pixel art, and so technically did the rendering. The materials are from Jada Gem Shop. Flossie Fox also has a lot of their original artwork licensed as traditional diamond paintings from Jada Gem Shop, but a stitch along in essence is where it's artwork that's released in parts. So once a month she would send out the next part, and it was, I think this was divided into 8. So it was like, one month was this section with like this dragon and this character. The next month was this top corner here with like these little dragons and some of these trees, and so on and so forth. It was 6 or 8 months. And so that was really fun to work on over time. And I thought it was really cute because the style and everything was very much my taste. And it was translating a cross stitch chart to a diamond painting on a blank canvas, which is always a fun kind of challenge that taps into a different part of your brain. So this was really fun to work on, and I I feel bad. I actually have the materials and the chart and everything for the current stitch along that's going on, which only has one more part, I think, left to release. But I just haven't felt excited about starting that one. And so I haven't been able to participate in that one as it's gone along, which is what it is. And I have the materials and the chart. I can work on it whenever I feel like it. But stitch alongs in general are a lot of fun. I don't know why that one I haven't reached for this year. Oh well, that's okay. So yeah, there was that one. Kind of new to me this year too. Next up, we have the last in this Disney Princess series, and this was the first one that I did in the series, and this is Anna. This one is special to me as well because the very first Diamond Art Club kit that I did was the Anna fan art princess panel from Mandy Manzano. I don't remember oh my gosh, Worth Melting For, I think was the name of it. And so I will always have fond associations with like Diamond Art Club and Anna. So this is a really cute one. And again, the dark background is super, super, super sparkly. I thought it turned out so cute. Like her face and everything about it, like sass, I thought was really, really, really cute and captured really well too. So this is a fun one. And again, it was the first one I did in the series. And so I wasn't bored or burned out on it yet. It was all novel to me. Next up, this is number 12. And this was a rainy day stash kit, and there was just something about this artwork that really spoke to me. I love this one a lot. This is Rainbows and Starlight, and is from Diamond Art Club. And the artist is Asherby, I believe. She go by something else. Let me check. Ashley Benson, but I think her Instagram handle is Asherby. This one, I was so sad. It got discontinued, I think, after one run, and I was so glad that I picked it up right away because there was just something about it that really spoke to me. I love the emotion between the two characters and these just really beautiful rainbow colors and vibes in this one I thought were so nice. I worked on this one in June with all the rainbow goodness, and I thought it was so beautifully done. I want to see more from this artist at DAC, actually. But yeah, a lot of the artwork you're going to see, especially here as we get towards these top kits, it's just artwork that spoke to me and evoked lots of, feelings and stuff. And that was definitely one of them. I really loved working on that one. I think that might have been the one I was alternating with Soul of the Rose. And that kind of color palette was perfect to go back and forth with the more neutral earth tones of Soul of the Rose, if I'm remembering correctly. Number 11 is this amazing kit called Love Bard from Diamond Art Club and Rosie Scribbles. This was a rainy day stash kit from, I think it came out in Valentine's Day 2024, but a bunch of people have worked on it right away. And so I was able to enjoy it vicariously through them that year. And then this year I was like, it's time. I want to work on this kit. It's one of those kits that has a lot of stuff going on. So about every time you completed a section, there was a little bit more that you got to see. And like Rosie Scribbles and her fantasy vibes and her art style in general are very much my taste. And this was a big one. I want to say it took a little bit to finish, but oh my gosh, so good. Lots of color palettes that I really liked, like all the shades of pink and stuff. And sorry. I love how it turned out. I worked on that one. Was that in February for Valentine's Day? I think it was, but I didn't think you have to work on that one around Valentine's Day, but I think I did. Speaking of seasonal kits, we are now officially in the top 10. My 10th favorite kit. Man, so many of these I swapped around so much. This is another big one. Okay, this is Cozy Autumn from Rita Konya, aka Aria Illustrations. I promise I'll get you a better look at this on the screen after I show you a little bit more of it. But this one, it's just, look, I love autumn. I love Rita Konya's room style pieces like this one. Definitely one where there is a lot going on. Every time you finish the section, you're like, oh look, I finished some books. Oh look, I finished a cat. Oh look, I finished this. It was really satisfying to work on, and I didn't even find myself getting too bored with all those leaves through the window. I love that kit. That was so cozy and so fun to work on. It was one of those that when Diamond Art Club did their voting round that was like, here's our fall and Halloween kits to vote on, I had this one really earmarked and thinking, if this one makes it through voting, it's going to be one of those drop everything to work on kits where it's like, it doesn't matter what else I kind of had in mind or was in the middle of. I'm going to need to work on this kit right away. And that's exactly what I did. So that was a fun Drills and Chills autumny kit to work on. And Diamond Art Club just killed it with the quality and the rendering on that one. Number 9. This was an early on in the year kit called The Year of the Dragon from Diamond Artisan. And the artist is Alora Paltritz. And can we talk about lo-fi vibes again? Look at the sparkle on this too. My gosh. Okay, so I worked on this one in large part to celebrate the end of the Year of the Dragon. It was kind of like a bonus kit I worked on to kind of really round off my 2024 Year of the Dragon kind of series. I was like, let me do one more. I had really wanted to try to get to that kit anyway. And Diamond Artisan does such an excellent quality kit. Their attention to detail and their rendering is top tier. They're super receptive to feedback, which is something I value very, very highly in a company. And they also put out a lot of artwork that is very, very much my style, which you're probably noticing a theme. That was just so enjoyable to work on and pretty quick. There was a lot of color blocking and all things dragons and lo-fi. So it was a lot of fun. It was number 9. Number 8 is, I feel like this is Jaded Gem Shop subjectively redeeming itself just for myself, because I love Jaded Gem Shop and so much of the artwork that they have and the overall quality. This is Ghost of Eras Past that I worked on for Drills and Chills, and I also worked on while listening to Taylor Swift's new album. Regardless of my feelings about her newest album, I thought this was really fun to work on. I was really fortunate enough to go to the Eras tour, and so this was a fun way to kind of reflect back on it a little bit. I really didn't care for this special drill that's this like hot pink kind of, I forget what she calls them, luminescent diamond or something. Those are really trash prone and a little bit of a headache to work with. But overall, this was just fun to work up. I worked them in album order and did like one square at a time. And I thought the special drills were really cute. And this just really ticked all the boxes. So cute. It's by the Witchy Stitcher, which the Witchy Stitcher, of course, does great artwork. But yeah, this was a really, really, really fun one to work on. I like that one a lot. All right, next up, yeah, how did I rank these? This one, I just recently finished it. It was my one big holiday kit of the year, and that is Clara and the Nutcracker from Diamond Art Club and Miss Holly, another really big one. I will get you a picture of it in a moment, but you can see how big it is. And this was, like I said, my big holiday project for 2025. And one of my thoughts for 2025 was that I have all of these wintry, even Christmassy Miss Holly kits, and I haven't worked on a single one of these yet. And I'm a seasonal crafter. I like to work on my wintry and Christmassy kits when it's the wintry and Christmas season. And so I thought this year will be the year. And then I remembered from the Christmas voting earlier in the year this particular artwork, and it was another one that was a drop everything to work on kit. And when it did indeed get released, that's exactly what happened. And I was pleasantly surprised by not only this kit, but several other kits at how much I was not bothered by the color palette. It's a darker color palette, which normally I would go, that's going to be boring to work on, or I'm not going to like it. But at this point in the year, I'd already realized that actually, no, I'm enjoying working on darker color palettes this year. I think this one will be fine. And it was. And I really, really liked working on it a lot. And I'll talk a little bit more when we get to some of my top favorites about sort of that realization of like, oh no, I guess darker color palettes are kind of my thing this year after all, and making for some of my favorites. And that was one of them. I think it's rendered so well, and I was just so happy to work on. Next up is going to need a spoiler warning. This is number 6. I'm going to be showing you the Ghosts Doing Stuff kit from Diamond Art Studio UK. It is technically a mystery kit by the artist Teeny Weeny Cross Stitch and is part of Diamond Art Studio UK's Chart to Art collection. When you get one of these kits, you don't know, unless you go and spoil it for yourself by looking it up, you don't know what the artwork exactly is going to be. You usually get a theme and a peek at one of the series or a portion of the artwork if it's just one big image. And so in this case, there was like one of these ghosts. You could see what it was on the website. So you got a sense for what the vibe of it was. So if you don't want to see the ghosts doing stuff completed, all of them together, then please look away and or just fast forward a little bit so you can avoid those spoilers. So anyway, here we go. Here's this one. And this was one of those that I actually enjoyed a lot more than I was expecting, which is my favorite kind of surprise. These were so dang cute. I did a start to finish video on these if you want to kind of experience it how I experienced it, of the images slowly being revealed to you. That was really fun because I knew what the vibe and the style of them was going to be, but I was always like not totally sure exactly what the ghost was going to be doing until I had gotten pretty far into each square. And some of them I didn't know until I stepped back, which was really fun too. So this was just such a cute and fun kit to work on. I love Diamond Art Studio UK. They're another shop, like a lot of these ones here at the top, that it's like their quality is fantastic, their customer service is top tier, and they're doing cool, innovative things like this. So definitely not going to be my last chart to art kind of mystery-ish kit from them. It also was fun to work on something with mystery vibes this year, which was one of my goals was maybe to work on, one of my kits to potentially work on this year was a mystery kit, and that ticked that box. Top 5. These really shuffled around a lot because I look at this and I'm like, how is this not higher? And then I look at the other, ones in my top 5 and I go, well, because this was a killer lineup to try to pick from. Number 5, this spot goes to Hades and Persephone from Diamond Art Club and Mrs. Butter D, one of my favorite artists at Diamond Art Club. And Hades and Persephone, some of my favorite characters and mythology to diamond paint as well. This was a rainy day stash kit, and I still just look at that and I'm like, I am obsessed. Like their whole energy towards each other, which is like sweet and protective, and the color palette was just delightful to work on. I love this kit. I had gotten to a point in the year, this was for Drills and Chills, so I think this was in October, where I was debating what I wanted to work on next, and I was looking at the kits I had worked on this year to go, well, do I have any gaps? And then I realized I haven't worked on a Mrs. Butter D kit this year. Who am I? That is unacceptable. So that made this a no-brainer, and I was so happy that I did. Oh my gosh. I love that kit. Oh, I just have this whole mountain of completed canvases over here. This pile is getting smaller. It's all shifting over. I'm like, please just don't go sliding off into the abyss. Okay, we're fine. It's fine. Number 4. This was so much fun to work on, and it's another really big one. Apparently I didn't mind. Some of my favorite kits were really big kits this year. This is Cave Dragon from, my arms are getting so tired, you guys. This is my arm day, apparently. This is Cave Dragon from Diamond Painting Shop and Jan Patrick Krasny. This was epic to work on, you guys. The treasure at the bottom turned out so well. And even the top, this is one of those, like, the color palette didn't bore me. It was fun to see it come together. I'll get a picture on the screen for you guys to get a better look at it. But I had been intending to work on that kit for quite some time, actually a couple of years, and just kind of kept getting kind of put off for other stuff. And this was the year I was like, I'm working on it this year, no matter what. Somehow I'm going to make sure that one gets worked on. And I loved every second of working on that kit. Truly, the most disappointing thing about it was that Diamond Painting Shop just doesn't have a ton of kits that are my style. Kind of like there's one or two other shops like that I just am like, I wish they had more that was right up my alley in the same way. I'm like, I want them to do more by this artist. And the quality was so good. I love the rendering, and the special drill placement was fantastic. It was a good one. And I'm sad that I have so little in my stash from them. It is my taste, but highly recommend checking them out if you haven't already. Number 3. If you're keeping track, I'm so curious if you're guessing, if you're familiar with my channel and what I've worked on this year, if you're trying to guess how I ranked these things. Number 3, this spot is going to go to Books and Things from Unimade and the artist Kat Fedora. This was another rainy day stash kit. It was one that when I opened it up, I have to work on this right away. And somehow I didn't. I had other stuff that I needed to get to. But it wasn't too long after that I ended up working on this one. Unimade is just, I love their trays for one. That's what they started out doing, was accessories. Their 3D printed trays are my ride or dies. And that attention to detail and excellence translated beautifully to diamond painting form. She works with some fantastic artists and is one of the most dedicated people to like putting out just top-notch quality products that I've seen. And this was just a fantastic kit to work on. I think the way that they render Cat Fedora's artwork is beautiful. And I thought they did a gorgeous job with that one. I have several kits from them by Cat Fedora at Munimade on my wish list. And yeah, I'm gonna need to do some shopping because I was so happy with that one. It's just so cozy. Of course, it's got the Void Kitty. You know me with my black cat love, with my tuxedo kitty and books. There's all these things that I love. So that was number 3. You guys, we have 2 to go. These top 2 have regularly rotated a lot this year since working on them, and I said as much when I worked on these 2 kits. I worked on these last 2 kits in I think May and June. And I think at the time I said, I think these are going to be my top favorite finishes of the whole year. I think I'm calling it now. And I don't think that ever really changed. There's other kits I worked on this year that I have really loved and had an amazing experience with. But these 2 have just like, they're my favorites. There's no other way I can put it. They're just absolutely incredible kits from top to bottom. And yeah, let's talk about them. So what ended up getting the number 2 spot, and it's been the number 2 spot for probably a good few weeks, actually. The other one has gotten the top spot, but number 2 goes to Dark Lilith from Diamond Art Club and Margaret Morales. I completed a version of this kit from Diamond Shop back in 2021, I believe, and I did a comparison video on these 2 canvases if you're curious, and I thought Diamond Art Club just really did a gorgeous job with rendering this artwork. It was a new experience in a good way. Even though, so this is like one of my top favorite kits this year. In a perfect world, I kind of want like a slight blend of the 2, but this is still, this is such a show-stopping piece to me. Like I've truly actually, especially just looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, what they did with the colors and kind of upping some of the vibrancy. I kind of love it. And I just think this is, again, one of those characters that's so fascinating. I'm a sucker for a strong female protagonist character, always, and Diamond Art Club just absolutely kills it with Margaret Morales' artwork, and you will never convince me otherwise. So this was number 2. And that leaves us with the number 1 spot going to Underworldly Romance from Diamond Art Club and Krista Bug. We have another Hades and Persephone kit this year, you guys, and I have even more in my stash that I'll tell you what I was tempted to work on this year. This kit, the way the light is catching it, I know is really affecting your ability to see the colors on it, but I love this artwork so much. Now, it's the artwork. I mean, it's Krista Bug. Her take on Hades and Persephone is always going to be a favorite in her mythology renderings in general. And Diamond Art Club did some really gorgeous special drills in that one. I also have kind of a fun and special association with it because I was working on it when I was at a diamond painting retreat. Funnily enough, that I know I've talked about this before if you've watched some of my other videos, but in case you're new, just a little funny story-ish, is that kit actually resulted in a shoulder injury that put me in physical therapy for a few months. That was fun. It was because I was diamond painting for upwards of 12 hours a day for a long weekend because it was a diamond painting retreat. That's just what we were doing. And I was not in a great setup, like ergonomically. And so I just managed to repetitive injury thing with my shoulder, repetitive motion, something, whatever. Mostly healed, but I have to be a little cautious with it. But that can't stop me from just being so obsessed with this artwork and with the whole experience of working on it and how it turned out. So easily that one and Dark Lilith, those are always going to be the top 2. And even though, like I said, I worked on some other amazing kits towards the end of this year, I nothing was able to unseat those. And I tried to be open to it, but I just think it was one of those when you know, you know. And that's just how it went with those 2 kits. So that was a look at the 41 diamond paintings that I worked on in 2025. And I enjoyed once again, the exercise of ranking them and trying to see like what would I say are my favorites and what were my least favorites. And like I said, I'm so interested to hear if you like this kind of format, if you're more interested in seeing the chronological style, where instead I take you through from the beginning of the year to the end of the year and go, okay, in January, here's the first kid I worked on in 2025 and the second, so on and so forth. I'm always interested in trying new things here, and I have some other ideas percolating for things I could do with these, like, and plans for 2026. So I have some really silly ideas that I'm noodling on a little bit. I didn't do like a year of theme for 2025 like I had done for 2024, where I did like a year of the dragon and worked on a different dragon kit each month. And for 2026, I have a couple ideas kind of rattling around in my brain. I have thought about doing just... Go ahead and tell me what you guys think of this one. But it makes me chuckle just because of like what I would be tempted to call it, because it's so funny to put it this way. But a year of men. And what I really mean by that is kits that have male characters in them. And because here towards the end of the year, I was opening up a lot of kits that featured male characters, and it felt very just... It was a lot of really amazing artwork to begin with, but also that's just something you don't see represented as much in diamond painting form. A lot of that, I think, is because I think a lot of the artwork that is created is often of women and female characters, which obviously I love. Hello, look at some of my favorite kits I worked on this year. But I think I just thought it would be fun to maybe have that be a potential theme for 2026. Like not necessarily trying to finish one every month, because a lot of these kits are on the larger size and I don't want to like rush through them. But maybe just like having one going like as a whip most of the time, or like one every other month. But I also am thinking about for 2026 wanting to lean into this refresh your stash challenge, an idea that Lisette is doing from Lisette Crafts and Tells. She always has these really interesting and I feel like inspiring kinds of like themes and challenges on her channel from year to year. And this one was really interesting to me because it's something I like the idea of doing and have kind of been inching towards doing, and have done a little bit this year, which is to work on the older kits in my stash, with the idea being that for example, I get through the kits or destash or give away the kits that have the older gappy round drill field from Diamond Art Club, or maybe poor quality squares from like another company. And then you're kind of left with truly just the top tier kinds of kits that you know that when you go to reach for a kit in your stash, it's going to be this particular level and standard of quality, I guess. So I kind of like that idea. I don't know exactly how I'm going to put that into practice and like how hard I'm going to push for that. But I think for me, it looks like some different things, like maybe trying to make sure I get to at least one of my princess panels by Mandy Manzano in 2026, and maybe some of my older vintagey kits, just kind of keep working on maybe my oldest Diamond Art Club kit or something. So we'll see, but that's just kind of a snapshot of what I'm thinking of for the upcoming year. But I really did love getting to share with you all the diamond paintings I completed this year. And this is the part where I would love to hear from you in the comments. What did 2025 look like for you? Did you work on any diamond paintings that were really exciting and special to you? Did you meet any goals that you were really proud of, or any disappointments that you just want to be able to vent about? Any and all of the above are totally fine, as well as if you have any goals for 2026 and what you're kind of thinking for the year. I always love reading and getting inspired by you. So just a reminder that if you're not already subscribed, if you did like this video and want to see more from me, I would love to have you here. So feel free to subscribe. You can hit the bell to be notified when I share new videos. And I also have a Patreon and YouTube memberships if you're interested in some behind the scenes perks and supporting my channel further. But just you guys watching my channel is truly all the support I could ask for as well. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll have my other years in review linked below if you want to take a look at other kits I've worked on. And I'll have some other, playlists like my month in review playlist and all sorts of other stuff linked in the description box of this video. I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you are having a wonderful holiday season. Have a very happy new year. And I hope that you have a day and a year that's as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.